When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We're listening and watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean. Good morning to everyone who is on our program this morning. Who is telling the truth? Is it the JPS telling the truth? Is it the ministers telling the truth? Or who is lying to the Jamaican people? The JPS has increased the bills for Jamaicans after the passing of Hurricane Beryl. Good morning to everyone. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares program. I don't know what's going on. We thought we'll have a lot of people on this morning. There's only 7 people on, but we'll still continue the business. Hold on for me. Whoa, sorry. Sorry. Yes. Like up the live feed. This morning, we're going to speak about the Jamaica Public Service Company, because this has been going on in our country for far too long, where the JPS believe that they can continue getting away with hiking the bills of many Jamaicans. Now you have the people of the Vumvava and the Vumvavi hitting out against JPS. It is not good for us as Jamaican citizens. And it seems as if it's now the powers may be is heeding the call of many Jamaicans, including myself, who have been saying to them, it's full time they build a power plant in this country for the Jamaican people. JPS is saying that they told Nigel Clarke that they will be increasing the bills for the month of August. Nigel Clarke said no such thing. Daryl Vaz is saying that the OUR must bring the JPS in for questioning. The Minister of Technology went on to say that they're thinking about a commission of inquiry into the JPS handling of the bills in this country by the Jamaica Public Service Company. And for far too long, the JPS has been ripping off the people of this country. with high energy bills. Jamaicans pay the highest energy bills in the Caribbean and maybe in the world. And for far too long, the two political parties in this country allowed the JPS to get away with this. Let us say they're going to do something about it. Because you have members of the elite and the upper class in our country speaking out against the JPS now. Hurricane Beryl passed through, and the people of St. Elizabeth has no light. Our community center in St. Elizabeth has no light. Before Hurricane Beryl, and after Hurricane Beryl is the same thing. And the JPS sent that community center a $70,000 light bill. Not to mention other Jamaican citizens who have been getting light bill in the tune of $30,000, $50-something thousand, $100-something. And the JPS is justifying it. The JPS is saying that they spoke to the Minister of Finance, Jamaica's world-class Minister of Finance, Dr. Nigel Clarke. The world-class Minister of Finance is saying that he hasn't spoken to anybody about to JPS pertaining to any increase for the month of August. Now, who must the Jamaican people believe? Must they believe the JPS, Nigel Clarke, Daryl Vaz? Who should they trust? The OUR has been in existence for over 10 to 11 years now. And they haven't considered the Jamaican people to come on to JPS, Lime, or Digicel. Those three companies continue to give the Jamaican people high telephone bills, internet bills, and so on and so forth. Kingston, good morning to you. Like, share, and subscribe. Share up this live feed for me now. Because the JPS is going on with some shibangarang. The OUR has not served the Jamaican people well. And how does the OUR give JPS increase in utility bills? That's the question we're going to ask this morning. Two questions. Did Nigel Clarke know about the increase of bills for the month of August from the JPS? Is the JPS lying to the people of Jamaica that they told Nigel Clarke about it? Or is Nigel Clarke lying to the Jamaican people that he knows nothing about it? It's very confusing this morning. Many of you don't want to hear me speak, but I'm going to speak about it. The Jamaica Public Service company can't continue to treat the Jamaican people this way. And I want to play some series of clippings for you people. A series of news clipping. Oh, sorry. A good friend of mine, an attorney at law, Christopher Henry, was on Nationwide yesterday speaking about his utility bill. He got a bill this today or yesterday, whenever he got the bill this month, for $53,000. It moved from 30-something thousand to $53,000. And that is what we're going to speak about. So many other Jamaicans have been asking about their bills. And when they call the Jamaica Public Service Company, the JPS customer service stinks like Riverton dump. So is Lime and Digicel. And begs to ask the question, when will the government of this country get it together and decide to build a power plant for the people of Jamaica? The JPS can't continue to doing this. And the people of Jamaica must ask the OUR, how do you calculate an energy increase in utility bills to the JPS that put on to the consumers of Jamaica? I've never heard the OUR come out swinging for the Jamaican people. I've never heard the OUR come out swinging for the Jamaican people to come on to slime and digismell and the Jamaica pressure service, because I'm pressuring the poor people of this country, the JPS. Well, nowadays you hear people of the Vumvava and the Vumvavi speaking out against JPS. When the people below Crossroad and around this country of ours who can hardly afford it, when a pensioner get a bill from JPS for $10,000, $11,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, how do they expect them to pay it? And the OUR will, and then if the JPS go to the OUR tomorrow morning for an increase in utility bills, the OUR give to the JPS. The OUR will give it to the JPS. And so we must ask ourselves the question, was the OUR put in place to secure the Jamaican people, or was the OUR put in place to listen to what JPS, Digismell and Slime is saying when they come on to increase in internet service or increase of utility bills in this country and water bills? You heard about price gouging in our country. You don't hear the OUR says nothing about it. This morning, Jamaicans are crying from Negril Point to Moran Point of the level of increase put on to them by the JPS, the Jamaica Public Service Company. The JPS continue for many years, not now, for many years, to hike utility bills in this country. And poor people suffer for it. All when LNG, gas, or whatever they call it, don't go up, JPS increase their utility bills. And the OUR sits silently by and says nothing. I want you to listen to the nonsense. I call it nonsense. Maybe it is not nonsense for you all. But I want you to listen to the utter rubbish that the Director of Communication for the Jamaica Public Service was saying yesterday on Nationwide News. At least they can get them to come on to speak to them. When we invite them to come and speak to us, they don't want to. And they fail to understand this is where poor people sit and listen to us. It can't continue like this anymore. For the three companies in Jamaica, the utility, the JPS, Lime, and Digismell, especially the JPS, to continue raising the price of electricity bill in this country. And I want you to listen to what she was saying on Nationwide yesterday. I want you to listen to this. Bear with me, please. Bear with me, please. I want you to listen to this.
The country's light and power monopoly, the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, is this evening facing mounting backlash on social media. This, as scores of Jamaicans are demanding answers to what they say has been excessive increases in their electricity bills for August.
Now, the complaints were accompanied by screenshots allegedly showing major movements in some bills. The Office of Utilities Regulation, the OUR, well, it's advising customers to bring their concerns to the JPS. And the Energy Minister Daryl Vaz has indicated he's exploring whether a commission of inquiry should be launched into JPS's actions following Hurricane Beryl.
Meanwhile, the OUR is opting for a wait-and-see approach as customer anger is mounting following queries. The Director General of the OUR, Ansord Hewitt, noted that the OUR was not yet ready to respond to the issues being raised.
We should tell our listeners, Cliff, that just about in the last 20 minutes or so, the OUR has released a statement saying that they will investigate the complaints that have been logged online.
All right. So we're going to get some reactions now from Director of Corporate Communications at JPS, Winston Callum. She joins us. After the break, we'll be joined by two JPS customers who happen to be attorneys at law about their complaints where the Light and Power company is concerned. Good afternoon, Ms. Callum.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Ricardo. Good afternoon, Cliff, and good afternoon to our listeners.
Based on the complaints you have seen, certainly online, like we have, what is happening?
Well, the complaints, most of them are founded on the fact that there is an increase in some charges on the electricity bill this month. But before I get into the details of that increase, I'd like to establish a couple of things up front. One, JPS does not set its own rate. The energy charge on electricity bill, that is set by the OUR.
You hear what she said? The JPS does not set its energy rate. What is on the utility bill is set by the OUR. The OUR. Them set the rate, you know. And then JPS carry it out. Because when JPS asks for it, the OUR just give it to them. OUR asks no question. Just give it to them. Listen to some more what she's saying.
And that can only be changed by the OUR. That's one component of the bill. The other component of the bill is made up of what we call variable charges, charges that will change from 1 month to the next. And the biggest charge that changes from 1 month to the next is the fuel charge. So the primary driver of the increase in electricity bills for this month is the increase in the fuel charge. The fuel charge has moved from $24.33 per kilowatt hour on the July bill to $32.17 per kilowatt hour on the August bill.
Now tell me something now. Yes, the fuel charge may have gone up. I should have checked that before I came on here, but I'm going to say this. You're saying to me that the JPS has no conscience. The Jamaica Public Service Company, which the Jamaican government have a little shares in it because they sold JPS to people. The first time JPS was sold under the Patterson administration. And it has been continuous selling from then. Jamaica don't own the Jamaica Public Service Company. It is owned by foreign entity out of Canada. And I think out of Japan too. The government and people of Jamaica only own a percentage in JPS. And JPS continue. From the day I know myself until now, JPS has been doing this where every single month in this country of Jamaica, the Jamaica Public Service Company continue pushing up the bills on the Jamaican people. And nothing has been done by neither the People's National Party nor the Jamaica Labour Party. They love to borrow money. why they couldn't borrow some money and build a solar system in this country for the Jamaican people. This is somewhat what this woman is saying.
So that is the primary driver of the increases that customers are seeing on their bills.
And what triggered that increase in the fuel charge?
Well, this is a charge that is basically a pass-through to customers. So when the cost associated with the fuel that we purchase to generate electricity, when that cost goes up, the fuel charge on the bills will reflect that. When that cost goes down, the fuel charge on bills also reflects that. So it changes from month to month.
So over just a moment, because the figures you quote suggest the fuel rate moved from $24 per kilowatt hour to $32 plus. That's an increase of 33%.
It's just over 30% increase.
And that is what you would have seen in terms of your cost to buy the fuel.
That's right. Yes. And let me explain what happened. It's really a negative situation and unfortunate that.
Hold on there for me. You know, I don't understand something here. Oil price don't gone up. OPEC oil price don't gone up the line up. Because I've been listening to international news and watching the stocks and so forth. And to my memory, I do not believe seeing where OPEC raised oil prices around the globe. Yet every single Thursday in Jamaica, gas prices go up. Now, JPS is telling us that what they use to power the old turbine them at Rockford, Old Harbor, and wherever else, that the price went up from $22 to $32 per kilowatt. Want to see how wickedness is being done in this country? While the people of our country must continue facing these bills. Listen to some of what she's saying.
That it should be happening right now when persons are struggling to recover from Hurricane Beryl. But this is another fallout from Hurricane Beryl. What happened just before the hurricane and for some days after the hurricane is that JPS was using the more expensive fuel. We had to switch, meaning the power plants that use LNG, natural gas, had to switch to the more expensive ADO.
You hear what I said? During the passing of Hurricane Beryl, the Jamaica Public Service Company has to switch. To a more expensive one. He would not tell her why they have to switch. Now, hear this.
Just before Hurricane Beryl hit, the automotive diesel oil, that's ADO, is the more expensive fuel. In fact, it is more than twice the cost of the LNG. And we were using more ADO because just before the hurricane hit Jamaica, the suppliers of LNG had to take the gas facility offline to protect it from damage during the storm. So it had to, we did not have access to LNG for some time because it had to be taken offline just before the hurricane hit and for a few days after the hurricane. So we were dependent on the more expensive fuel.
But just before you go any further, Winsome, Beryl struck on the 3rd of July.
That's right.
So you had to switch from LNG to ADO how many days prior to Beryl's arrival?
I think it might have been 24 to 48 hours before the arrival of Daryl.
And for how many
at the
days
maximum,
after?
in total, I believe we were on ADO for about a week because of the unavailability of LNG.
Would it then
Now,
be
even
reasonable to say that because of that, you anticipated that you would have had to issue these bills with these kinds of increases?
well, we did anticipate that the reliance or the increased use of ADO would have resulted in a higher fuel charge. And
You hear? They anticipated that the switch over would have the bills would have been increased, and the Jamaica Public Service Company didn't see it fit to say to the Jamaican people, to poor people in this country who Hurricane Beryl devastated in this country. Huh? And these two uncaring, I don't care who I'm vexed with me this morning, you know. They keep on saying this one government at a time, so be it. These two uncaring political parties in this country, when all of this thing happen, all of them come and chat. There's no action to it. Look how long JPS has been doing this to the people of this country. And neither the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party do not see it fit to borrow money from the Chinese, because they love to borrow, you know, and build a solar plant for the people of this country. If you check back in the 1990s and the 1980s, JPS has been ripping off the people of this country when it comes on to high electricity bills in this country. And nothing has been done. The Jamaica Public Service Company know that when they switch over from ADO, from LNG to ADO gas, or whatever they want to call it, the price of electricity will be going up through the roof come the next utility bill, the next billing cycle. And the Jamaica Public Service didn't see it fit to tell the Jamaican people this. Listen to what this woman is saying on Nationwide. Not take the Jamaican people for a bunch of idiots. They want to take us for.
And did you at any time advise the JPS customers over that week after you had gone on to this new system that they should brace for these increases?
that is something that we have looked into, Cliff and Ricardo, because
the question the man asks you, did you see it fit to tell the Jamaican people that you will be switching over from LNG to a more expensive gas system to supply JPS? Did you tell the Jamaican people that they must brace themselves for an increase in utility bills? Yeah, I don't should answer the damn question.
So is that a no? You didn't advise them?
It would have been good to have alerted our customers early.
Here, it would have been good. Don't tell me something now. I don't believe that this could happen in any other country around the globe where the people not take up and say enough I want. Huh? How long must we continue like this in this country? A man came to Jamaica in the 1990s. His company went belly up in the United States. And he owed IRS millions and billions of dollars. Whatever he had left, he came and bought JPS for little or nothing. When he finished with JPS and the people of this country in the 1990s, he could have sold back JPS, went back to the United States, pay off IRS and whatever bills he owed, and go down to Texas and build another power plant in Texas. In the 1990s compared to now, you know how many years is that? And you're saying to me that these people who are governing this country couldn't see it fit and think and say, you know what, we need to build a power plant for the people of Jamaica. Listen to some more of what the lady said on Nationwide yesterday She's a communication director for the Jamaica Public Service Company. Listen to what she said.
It's what really happened is that we would not have known the exact value of the fuel charge that would have been passed on to the customer until at the end of the month before the billing period started last week.
But you knew an increase was coming, is what I'm trying to get at.
No, we knew that the reliance on ADO would have actually sent up the bill.
And considering, Ms. Callum, that we were in...
We did advise some key stakeholders in this regard because we figured that it would have affected our customers.
But one of those key stakeholders was not the customer.
I know what you're saying, and I totally agree with you that giving our customers the heads up, even if we didn't have the specific number or the specific figure of what the fuel charge would have been, giving our customers the heads up would have been useful.
So why wasn't that done, Ms. Callum? Especially in a situation where so many Jamaicans were out of power. You all knew the strains and the stresses the Jamaican people were facing. Why wasn't that done?
That is something that we are working through now, Cliff. It wasn't a decision that was made that we wouldn't. We did take steps to advise some key stakeholders, as I said, and the billing actually started like a couple of days late last.
Want to hear how this woman dance around the question? Why didn't the Jamaica Public Service Company tell the Jamaican people that they will be having an increase in their utility bills come August? Why didn't they do that? Listen to some of what this woman is saying. They take us for a bunch of idiots. Listen to this.
Week after the calculations were done. So we didn't have a lot of time, but yes, I'm not making any excuse. It's something that
you are making excuse. You are making excuse, Miss Callum, because you knew that this was coming down the pipe. You knew the prices you were looking at. Your technical people would have known. You would have known that you're talking about a 30-day billing cycle, aren't you?
That's correct.
Right. And of the 30 days...
The price of the fuel is calculated at the end of the period.
But you'd have switched to this new system 48 hours prior to burial. So you'd have known a good stretch in advance.
Yes.
All right, let's stop here, Cliff. We're talking about two different things. Yes, we could have advised customers early that there was a possibility that the fuel charge on bills would be higher in a very general sense. Yes, I am saying yes, we could have. With regards to the...
And why didn't you?
With regards to the specific amount of the increase, that is something that we would not have known in advance. And as I said earlier, it's one of those things that you look back on in retrospect and say, you know, really, we could have had improved communication.
You screwed up.
We could have looked at this a little bit closer, and we could have alerted our customers.
Did you tell the OUR?
I need to check in with the team that actually has that responsibility. But
you said you told key stakeholders, though, Miss Callum. The OUR must be surely a top stakeholder.
I know that the government was advised because of the specific issues there with regards to the significantly higher cost of the ADO. But I wouldn't want to say without seeing the communication that the OUR had been advised. I think so, but I'd have to double check.
So who are the key stakeholders who were advised?
The primary stakeholder that I'm speaking of is the government, the principals in the government who would have gotten this information.
You told the energy minister that you were going to have increased bills in August. Ms. Callum?
I know that the Minister of Finance would have been aware of it.
You hear this? You hear this? She did not say anything to Jamaica's Minister of Energy, you know. Listen to some more. Listen to some more of this.
And your energy minister?
That again, I'd have to check, Flip, because I am not privy to the communication, but I know based on the information I got today that communication was sent to the government
But-
about the possible impact of ADO on the cost of the fuel charge on customers' bills.
So you're not sure if it's the OUR, and you're not sure if
it is
the
the energy
energy
minister.
minister.
But I can check and get back to you before the evening is out.
We'd appreciate that.
There's something else that is bothering me, Miss Callum. ADO, very expensive. Twice, did you say twice the cost of the LNG? Was that what you said, twice the amount?
So when you, based on the arrangements we have with our fuel providers,
Uh-huh.
ADO is provided by Petrojam and LNG by New Fortress Energy.
Mhm.
Yes, we have a significant difference in the cost, and it's one of the reasons why the country decided to have what we call diversification in our fuel.
Listen to me. There's a clause that I know of. One example. That if the country is going to declare a national holiday that is not implemented, it's like when you have independence and other stuff, and they decide to give a national holiday just like that. The government of Jamaica should give the people of Jamaica 7 days clear notice. The Jamaica Public Service Company, in their clause that they had signed, that they sign on to, that I wouldn't say I'm privy to, but based on my little knowledge, they're supposed to give the consumer, their customers, 30 days clear notice that they're going to raise, that come December, come August rather, that they should expect an increase in their utility bill. They did not do such thing. Listen to some of what she's saying, because honestly, I have another clipping that I'm going to play that Nigel Clarke is saying that they did not notify him about the increase. Listen to this.
Yes, a
So that we
significant
can
increase
have
is
the
different
option
from.
of using one or the other.
Yes, but
Now, in a case like this, when LNG is not available, there is very little option. There's little choice. But
yes,
to
I
use
understand that.
radio.
But I'm asking you, did you say twice the amount of the
Yes.
cost? Twice.
Yes, it's more than twice. More than twice the cost. And this is reflected in the bills, and the OUR has oversight. This is not something that is secret. When we get the bills from Petrojam, when we get the bills from NSE, this is not something that is hidden from our regulator or from whoever needs to see this. So the bill that we get from Petrojam is the bill that is used to calculate the charge that's passed on to customers. The bill that we get from NSE is the actual bill that is used to calculate the charge. So in this case, you had a cost of $29 per MMBTU for ADO compared to a cost of $13 per MMBTU.
No, tell me something here. I'm sorry to be cutting this every minute, like, but this is something I have to say, because if I don't say it, I won't remember. If JPS have to be paying so much bill from Petrojam, bill from Nira, bill from Tira, bill from Lebebaba, it is much feasible. Anybody who know about solar, call me and tell me if what I'm saying is true or I'm chatting nonsense. Would it be much feasible for the government of the day, since you don't love to borrow money, borrow a couple billion and build find out how it can work. Build a solar plant for Kingston and St. Andrew then, if that's so be it. One for Middlesex. Okay, you have 3 counties in Jamaica, Middlesex and Surrey. Build a solar plant. One for Middlesex, one for Surrey, and one for Cornwall. Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. Wouldn't the whole utility bill be much less than what the people of our country is paying? Huh? Something is not adding up here. Listen to some of what she's saying.
For LNG, it's a significant difference. Plus, we did not have access to energy from solar for quite a few days, which is also cheaper. So that combined caused us to rely more heavily on
So, of the
ADO.
30-day billing cycle, how many days we would have been using ADO?
From my understanding, we would have been using ADO for about 7 days,
7
including
of the
before
30.
and after. Just about, yeah.
7 over 30, that's about 25% of the input cost. Yes? Wow. Ms. Callum, what do you say to your customers this evening? You did not alert them. You did not alert some of your key stakeholders. What do you say to them who are
No, I
angry
wouldn't
tonight?
say categorically, though, Cliff. The fact that I win some column I'm not aware doesn't mean that we didn't. I promise to get back to you with that information. But what I do know is that we did not alert our customers. And that's something that we definitely need to look back on what happened and how we can do differently. What this means, the average customer who uses about 165 kilowatt hours, which is the majority of our customers, a chunk of our customers, that customer would have gotten a bill of about $10,300, and that bill would be about 15% more than the bill that he or she would have gotten in July. So in dollar terms, we're looking at about $1,400 more on the bill of the average JPS customer.
And what about those who are seeing increases of 50% or more?
Pardon me?
What about those who are alleging increases of 50% or more?
We have looked at some of the bills, the complaints that have come to us, and there are a couple of things. There are different moving parts to the bill. One of them is the usage. We have seen a significant increase in the usage of some of the bills that came to our attention, including the one that the Minister Vaz shared. We are investigating the reason why we would have seen such. But when you look at even just now, I responded to a customer whose bill showed an increase in usage. Now, we forget that the summer has caused more people to use more electricity. And the fact is, Cliff, that some people did not lose electricity as a result of Hurricane Beryl. While 65% of our customers did lose electricity and a handful are still without, the majority of customers have had electricity for a while, and the heat, the summer, and other things have caused usage to go. So I'm saying, Chris, before we wrap up, I'm saying that is one of the contributors to the increase in this. The moving parts. We spoke about this.
Ms. Callum, I need to get this in. The Minister of Energy is on the record this evening as telling us that he's now considering a commission of inquiry because of the performance or lack of performance of JPS since the passage of Beryl on the 3rd of July. What's your reaction to that?
We welcome any inquiry in our operations. We have had many because, remember, JPS is a regulated entity. We have a regulator that has oversight over all of our operations.
The key word, JPS is a regulated company, and the regulated personnel are the one who give JPS the increase, and that is the OUR. The OUR should be blamed this evening or this morning for what is going on with the pockets of the Jamaican people, that the JPS decide in a time of disaster they decide to increase utility bills on the Jamaican people. Before Hurricane Beryl, they decide to switch over from LNG to ADO. And ADO is a more expensive diesel or gas. I don't believe Minister Vaz that a commission of inquiry is going to solve anything that the Jamaican people is going through by JPS. I don't believe that at all, sir. Listen to what they're saying.
Areas of our operations, even the calculation of the fuel charge is done using a regulated formula. So there is regulated oversight. We've had many in the.
You hear what she said? Even the calculation of their fuel charges or whatever is used by a regulator mechanism. The OUR is coming back to question again. The OUR is the one that we need to ask some question. How do they calculate the JPS increase and fuel charges and so forth? I think they said that the fuel charges is calculated by whatever bill they get from Petrojame. But the OUR is the one who calculate their increase. How does the OUR do that?
Investigations and several audits of our operations. So it is something that we are definitely open to because the transparency is very, very important for us, especially given the level of the cost of the energy, the cost of electricity is relatively high, and persons are always questioning their bill. So a commission of inquiry will help to ensure that we are in fact doing what we are supposed to do as a regulated entity. And I suspect that the commission of inquiry will confirm everything that I've said here in terms of how the calculations are done. They're all above board, all transparent, and that commission of inquiry will give our customers greater confidence in what they're seeing on their bills.
Thank you very much. Winsome Callum is Director of Corporate Communications at JPS. After the break, we're going to come.
Wow. I want you to listen to something from the Minister, Jamaica's world-class Minister of Finance, the Honorable Dr. Nigel Clarke. Where Dr. Clarke is dismissing that the JPS did not tell him that they're going to raise. They're going to be an increase in utility bills for the month of August. This is what the minister is saying. I didn't say it. Listen to this. I am my God in heaven. Listen to this, please.
Nigel Clarke is rejecting as inaccurate a claim from the Jamaica Public Service company JPS. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke is rejecting as inaccurate a claim from the Jamaica Public Service company JPS that his ministry was informed beforehand that customers would see higher light bills for the July to August billing cycle. The claim was made on Monday evening on Nationwide at 5 by the Director of Corporate Communications at JPS, Winsome Callum.
You said you told key stakeholders, though, Miss Callum, the OUR must be surely a top stakeholder.
I know that the government was advised because of the specific issues there with regards to the significantly higher cost of the ADO, but I wouldn't want to stay without seeing the communication that the OUR had been advised. I think so, but I'd have to double check.
So who are the key stakeholders who were advised?
The primary stakeholder that I'm speaking of is the government, the principals in the government who would have gotten this information.
You told the energy minister that you were going to have increased bills in August.
I know that the Minister of Finance would have been aware of it.
And your energy minister?
That, again, I'd have to check.
But in a lengthy thread on X on Monday evening, Minister Clarke refuted the claim. He published multiple letters detailing communication between JPS and his office in early July, in which the utility provider requested a waiver of the taxes on automotive diesel fuel or the application of the concessionary rate of $4.56 per liter. The normal rate is $44.90 per liter. The letters show that the ministry consented to the concessionary rate. There is no reference to impending increases in bill amounts. Dr. Clarke says JPS's statements are misleading, distorted, and incomplete.
I can only imagine that it is either an unintentional error or a deliberate attempt to divert attention away from the inability of the JPS to restore normality to the Jamaican consumer. Whatever the motivation, in light of this misinformation and in the interest of transparency on this issue of understandable concern to Jamaicans, I've decided to release the communication between JPS and the Ministry of Finance on this matter.
The minister says the misinformation is unacceptable.
Consistent with the advocacy and posture of the Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, the Honorable Daryl Vaz, on this matter, I urge the JPS to focus on the technical matters under their control and urgently restore normalcy to the Jamaican consumer. The government of Jamaica will not give distortionary or diversionary tactics the space to prevail.
Dr. Nigel Clarke.
The question this morning, it is now 9:41 in Jamaica, 10:41 in the United States. We're listening and watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. This is the Make We Talk program. We're speaking about the Jamaica Public Service Company. Who is speaking the truth? Did the JPS tell Minister Clarke about the increase in utility bills for the month of August? Is the minister lying that JPS didn't tell him? Is JPS lying that they told the minister? Why didn't JPS tell the Jamaican people, their customers, who they collect millions or maybe billions from every day? It's 341 in the United Kingdom. Why didn't the JPS tell the Jamaican people about the increase in utility bill for the month of August? That's the question we're asking this morning. I want you to listen to something that was done on Nationwide News yesterday again. Two attorneys at law, one of them is a good friend of mine and the other one I know very well. Well, I shouldn't say I know him very, I know him. One of them is Mr. Christopher Henry, who is no stranger to the Make We Talk program. He went on X, formerly Twitter, and said that his utility bill came to $53,000 this month. I want you to listen to what they said on Nationwide. Hope I get the correct clip in here. Listen to this for me, please.
Evening, Ricardo.
Good evening. Good evening, Ricardo.
Thank you
Good
so
evening, Gonzo.
Thank you so much for joining us. Let me start with you, Mr. Green, before I get to Mr. Henry. It's been floated around online, this matter of whether people should sue JPS and whether a class action suit could be brought. I mean, just broadly speaking, how do these things work in law? And what's the possibility you think of that?
Well, really, on our rules, we describe it as a representative action. And what the rules require is that the parties who are filing this action must have a similar interest. The law is very clear on it. Now, one of the main things that one would have to consider is what would be the action that we would be filing against the utility company. You would have to identify, for example, a breach Now, what exactly is the breach? I've had the privilege of listening to Ms. Callum, who was speaking on behalf of the Jamaica Public Service Company. And she seemed to be saying that the bills that were issued in accordance with rules, with the regulations laid down by the OUR, and that she would be properly, or the company would be properly entitled to require payment in accordance with the fuel charges. So one of the first things one would have to identify clearly what would be the action, the cause of action as we describe it in law, that would be the basis for a suit of this nature. And if the interest of the public can be merged, or the members of the public who are being charged excessively according to those members, if we can find a common basis, and if it is illegal and unlawful, then that would set the basis for some kind of representative action that the public understands to be a class action suit.
Would it be fair to say, Mr. Green, that the threshold that needs to be met for filing such an action would be high?
Hold on there for me. Hold on there. We're going to go back to what Counsel Leonard Green, he's an attorney at law, is going to say. It is floating in the air that the people of Jamaica should put a class action lawsuit against the Jamaica Public Service Company. Now they have to figure out how they're going to do that lawsuit. Listen to some more of what attorney at law Leonard Green is saying.
Well, I wouldn't speak about threshold, but we should identify clearly what is the breach of the Jamaica Public Service Company. If there is some negligence, or if there is some illegality of some sort, we have to identify that clearly before we think about embarking upon any kind of legal action.
Christopher Henry?
Yes.
You're one of the first persons who raised an alarm on social media regarding your bill, moving from, I think, 37,000 to just over 50,000.
Yeah, to also over 53,000.
Right.
Yeah.
And how unusual is that for you?
That's extremely unusual. I've never seen a bill of ours that has passed 40 at max 42, 43,000. So this is over even the higher limit of what our bills are. We noted that the fuel charge, and I had the I don't even want to say pleasure of listening to Ms. Callum this afternoon, and I do agree with her, and I'm glad she conceded that she could have advised their customers that we would have been hit, for whatever better word, with these high bills. It's completely unconscionable that we are, and then in addition to everything, back to school time is here on us, and these high JPS bills are coming fast and furious at the public.
Mr. Henry Cliff Hughes here.
Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. Tell me, what about your usage month over month? Has that remained just about where it was before?
It has remained just about where it was. There, I was looking on the kilowatt hours, and I think it moved from, I do a complete average, so it moved by, must be just over 500 or so. Which is usual, yes, kilowatt hours. And what is even more mind-boggling to me is that my household has 4, and we are down to only 2. And half the time the house is empty. Within the day the house is empty. So it's amazing that we would have faced such a heavy increase. But Ms. Callum did shed some light on why that is the case, the ADO versus the LNG, etc.
And the usage would have been, since you reduced the household number from 4 to 2?
Yes. So the usage, I think what it should have reduced in logical sense, because half the time the house is empty, so it should not have increased at that level of increase.
Did you hear what Mr. Henry said? Christopher Henry saying that he has a household of 4 people. Huh? And his household went down to 2 people. And the bill comes to 53,000 Jamaican dollars. Now, Aunt Mattie live down the road, and Sister Tem. Aunt Mattie and Sister Tem live down the road. Aunt Mattie alone live in our house. Sister Tem and her granddaughter live in our house. And Aunt Mattie light bill, they come 200 and something thousand. Sister Tem, they come to nearly 300,000. And JPS cannot tell us why so. And the OUR, just sit down, and when you go to the OUR, you get nothing at all from the OUR. I've never heard the OUR come out swinging for the Jamaican people. It's always for the people who owns companies in this country, especially private companies. What is going on? The Jamaica Public Service company need to do something, This is some more of what is being said both by Christopher Henry and Attorney at Law Leonard Green. OUR is not in the office of the Prime Minister. It is not in the office of the Prime Minister. OUR is not in the office of the Prime Minister. The Electoral Office of Jamaica is not in the office of the Prime Minister. There's something so going out on social media that the Electoral Office is in the office of the Prime Minister. It's not. And it's full time for us to go and Google certain things. The OUR is not in the office of the Prime Minister. The Electoral Office of Jamaica, it is not in the office of the Prime Minister either. Listen to some more of what Attorney at Law Leonard Green is saying, and also Attorney at Law Christopher Henry. Listen to this, please.
Or increase at all, in my view.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Green, for customers to be able to try to make out a case, what similarities would they need to share? For example, do they need to live in a particular geographic region? What similarities would they need to share?
No, all they need is a common interest. But you see, what it is that we need to identify, that I'm saying, is really what is the wrongdoing, what is the act that the JPS has committed. If, for example, we're saying that they have been reckless, negligence, we need to say exactly what it is, and we have to provide the evidence which we can put before a court to establish that, as a matter of fact, they have created false, fraudulent, or irregular bills which have so badly affected the customers. But at the very base of it, we have an entity which is established for the purpose of protecting the consumers who can carry out this kind of investigation. Mm-hmm. The OUR. Mm-hmm. And under the statute, they have a duty, and it says, subject to subsection A, carry out on its own initiative or at the request of any person such investigations in relation to the provision of the prescribed utility services as will enable it to determine whether the interests of consumers are adequately protected. Mm-hmm. So that body is the one that is to carry out that investigation and see whether the consumer is being treated unfairly. Based on that investigation, or based on the investigation of an independent engineer or some person you could launch an action against the JPS, but you have to find a hook, a basis on which to file that action.
And would the customers, for example, because a lot of the complaints we hear is that, when they go to the OUR in single file, they don't get a response in a timely manner. What about banding together as perhaps a unit and bringing those concerns to the OUR?
Well, I would recommend that can be done, but what we have found over the years, the OUR is about 29 years old, but it tends not to function effectively on behalf of the consumers. I don't know if the public would agree with that.
I agree with you, Mr. Green. I was saying that the OUR is 10 years old. It's 29 years old. The OUR is 29 years old. And the OUR has never come out swinging for the Jamaican people. The JPS can get an increase anytime they feel like from the OUR. So is Lime and Digicel. It's same way. The both political parties sign papers that the operators of the toll roads can get a fair increase every single year if they want. It's not every single year, maybe it's every other month then. And when they sign these things, we do not see what they're signing up. It's when the pressure reaches us. Then we see what they're signing. They come out with a mouth full of pure lies. The OUR is not in the best interest of the Jamaican people. It's not in the best interest of the Jamaican people. This is some more of what Mr. Green is saying here.
But we never hear an OUR standing up for the customers in an effective way. And we heard the other day that there was a $2 million fine imposed upon the JPS.
Ridiculous.
I'm not sure.
You hear that? A $2 million fine from the OUR was imposed on the JPS. I didn't know that the OUR is a judicial body. It's only a court of law can impose the fine on the JPS. And by the way, there are some clause in the OUR that need to be amended. You now impose a $2 million fine on JPS when JPS collect more than $2 million per day from the Jamaican people. And there's only a $2 million fine was imposed on JPS. JPS collect millions and billions of dollars a year time from the Jamaican people. And until now, the people of St. Elizabeth don't have any light don't have any light? Huh? And the OUR just sit down. Because under the OUR Act, the Minister of Technology and Energy cannot do nothing, Because the Jamaica Public Service Company is a privately owned company. Jamaica only have 2% percentage in the JPS because they still have almighty God thing in the country. And I keep on asking us, that we must ask the two political parties, have they sold us and how much ahead they sell us for? Some people don't like when I say two political parties, but it's the truth. The OUR don't have the Jamaican people interest at heart. I must call a spade a spade. It cannot be. But if you're a party in a power, you can't talk about your party. You must talk about what your party is doing. No. And you must speak the truth. The minister at this moment has no hand in the sense of telling the OUR what to do. Because of how they frame the OUR Act. tell you, we have some people who then go to University of Technology and then go to Harvard and then go to University of the West Indies and then go to London School of Economics and all kind of shibangarang. And a man on the road has more bloody sense than them. This is some more of what the gentleman is saying.
So how, on what basis, the OUR could impose that fine, because it is supposed to be imposed by a court. The resident magistrate court has power under the act to impose that fine. So apart from a court-imposed fine, the maximum limit under the act being 2 million, I don't see how effective the OUR is, and it really cries for some amount of statutory amendment to give the OUR the necessary teeth to properly represent the public in circumstances of this nature.
But as you just cited from the act, it would appear that the act contemplates that it would be able to act. So what additional powers do you think it needs to
Well, certainly an entity like Jamaica Public Service, if you find them $2 million, you're really not. I wouldn't even describe it as a slap on the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
$2 million on the JPS.
Mm-hmm.
That's a small bill for so many of their customers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the amendment, the nature of the act, would have to be significantly amended to give the OUR the teeth and the power to really regulate in the interest of the consumers.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher, are you satisfied with how the OUR has responded?
I'm not. I tend to agree with counsel that we should, as a class, approach them and demand better. But as he rightfully indicated, there is some teeth that is lacking, as with much of our legislation in this country, to really bring JPS and the other utilities to book. Because they, right now, for example, with the $2 million fine, they're just going to pay it and everything goes back to normal. Because we have been under the thumb of JPS for even before this situation, being unfairly treated, because there has been, I won't call the name of the area, that representatives of the JPS have been told point blank that they are paying for another area which is an inner city. And so they pay what they call uptown tax, because because those persons in the adjunct area are not paying for their electricity usage. So for a very long time, we have been under some sort of bondage from the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited. So I'm not even sure, unless the act is amended, the OUR can really bring us some sort of reprieve or get some sort of...
All right, there. You heard what Attorney at Law Christopher Henry is saying? Unless the OUR Act is amended. Now, tell me something now. This has been going on for many years. The OUR is 29 years old. And you're saying to me that none of the present nor previous government didn't see it fit to amend the OUR Act? Former government and present government didn't see it fit to build a solar power plant for the people of this country? 3 counties in this country, Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. And you don't see it fit to build a solar plant for the people of this country? And we have this Jamaica Pressure Service Company pressuring the people of this country? I don't understand what's going on. Honest to God, I don't understand what's going on. One moment for me, please. Don't go anywhere. I want you to listen to some more of this.
A reprieve for us from the JPS.
And Mr. Henry, you are a potential prospective parliamentarian, legislator. Yes? Tell me, have you given this some thought as to, given our experience now collectively with JPS for so many years, and more recently with Beryl, at the next time around, what should be the approach of the legislators in really negotiating and debating and approving or not this all-island electricity license?
I think for something like this, there has to be some more consultation with the JPS and with the stakeholders as to how we are going to function. And I think it is also time that we consider competition in the electricity provision service arena. It has been, we've broken up the monopoly for the telephone and the internet services. I am thinking, and I don't know how feasible it is, hence why I said consultation, whether or not we can, for the provision of electricity, we can break the monopoly. Because competition has benefited Jamaica in the past, I can see where competition can benefit Jamaica going forward. If in the
Electricity is a different kettle of fish, though.
that is true. That is true. So that has to be considered. But in the event that electricity, as you said, Cliff, is a different kettle of fish, and consultations lead that the all island, we have to make the monopoly remain. There has to be amendments to the OUR Act, and there has to be different terms of their license. They can't, while they have to get the rates approved, it can't be a rubber stamp by the OUR, because I heard that is the first thing that Ms. Callum came out with, that the OUR approves their rates. It almost, we don't even know the metric for them proposing the rates, as well as the OUR saying, okay, the rates are fine, they can be passed on.
Like a rubber stamp situation.
Yes, it's almost like a rubber stamp situation. Thank you, Council. So we have to understand those metrics, and we have to probably build into the license the metrics for those rate approvals, amongst plethora of other things.
The regulatory framework and teeth will have to be overhauled.
I agree with you. Yes, that's simply it.
It must be, because the public seems to have lost confidence in the OUR, and rightly so.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Attorneys at law, Leonard Green and Christopher Henry.
There you have it. Two attorney at law is suggesting that the Jamaican people must come together and see if we can see if there is an action to put a lawsuit against JPS. Ms. Henry, thank you very much. Hall, rather, thank you very much. Jamaica had a great deal with Venezuela on LNG gas. And what this administration did was to tell Venezuela goodbye because of certain issues that a certain power up north had with Venezuela. And now the people of Jamaica have been paying JPS some ridiculous prices for electricity. The question we need to ask today again, who is lying? Is the Jamaica Public Service lying, or is it Minister Clarke lying? And I believe it's the JPS line, you know. I don't know why I believe it's the JPS line, but I'll take up for Nigel Clarke. Why didn't the people of Jamaica give a heads up about come August utility bill will be increased, or they're going to see a hike in the bills? Because according to JPS, they switch over from LNG to ADO 7 days before or 7 days after. I don't remember. I think it's 7 days before Hurricane Beryl hit Jamaica, or after it hit Jamaica, one of the two. and the JPS communication director bob and weave around the question, why didn't JPS tell the Jamaican people that come August, their utility bill will be going through the roof? Want to see how JPS is wicked to the Jamaican people? In the time of a natural disaster, the Jamaica Public Service Company decide, along with the OUR, because according to JPS, they was buying at 22 and now it's 32 kilowatt. I want you to give me a call on the program here. Before I open the phone lines, I have some more clippings to play rather, about the JPS. Because even down to the very General Secretary of the People's National Party, Dr. Dayton Campbell, is hitting out hard against the JPS. I want you all to listen to this. I get it here. The JPS and the Jamaican people, listen to this.
The country's light and power monopoly, the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, started facing mounting backlash on social media. This as scores of Jamaicans demand answers to what they say has been excessive increases in their light bills for August.
Social media sites lit up over the weekend with scores of Jamaicans calling on JPS to explain what appears to be dramatic increases in their bills. The complaints were accompanied by screenshots allegedly showing major movements in the bills. The PNP's junior spokesman on foreign affairs, Christopher Henry, was one of the first to sound the alarm. The attorney at law posted a bill on the social media site X, which appears to show his electricity bill moving from $37,000 to $53,000. That's a 43% increase. According to Henry, half the time nobody is at home. But he wasn't alone. Attorney at law Kenyatta Powell saw his bill move from $6,500 to $11,745. That's a near 80% increase in his electricity bill. Powell described the bill grade A bovine excrement. It's not immediately clear what accounts for the sharp rise in the bills over a 1-month billing period. Another attorney at law, Andrea White Walters, alleged that the bills for both her office and home registered the same amount to the last cent. She has threatened to report the matter to the OUR. She is also calling for a class action lawsuit to be filed against JPS. Another user, Jones Jr., alleges his fuel and IPP charges rose by 20% when compared to his last bill. A user who goes by the name of Vivi alleges her bill moved from $12,000 to $22,000. It was a similar story from a user who goes by Campbell_IG. The person says they were away for 10 days and had 3 days with no power. The person says they used less kilowatt hours this month and has gotten a higher bill than last month. The Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, has advised customers to bring their concerns to the JPS. The Energy Minister Daryl Vaz has indicated he's exploring whether a commission of inquiry should be launched into JPS's actions following Hurricane Beryl. Repeated efforts by our news center to reach the JPS were unsuccessful. The Q Grant directed our queries to the company's communication team. He noted he was leading restoration efforts in St. Elizabeth and therefore would not be in a position to have a conversation. Multiple calls to the company's Director of Corporate Communications, Winsome Callum, have gone unanswered.
You know, I keep on asking the question, What is the OUR there for? The OUR can give these utility providers increase whenever they apply for it. And the OUR do not consult the Jamaican people about it either. I want you to listen to something else here too. Let me find it here. I want you to listen to this too. The PNP General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, had this to say about what is going on with JPS and consumers.
PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell says small farmers have been particularly hard hit by the government's failure to hold the JPS to account for the slow process of power restoration to customers.
You have people that are small farmers that have chicken and they reach 6 weeks and they can't kill the chicken because they're not a refrigerator to put it in. The chicken they can't big, reach all 10 pounds. Wow, something wrong. And you can't kill the chicken because they don't have nowhere to put the chicken and refrigerate it. You have people that their livelihood has been affected. Did you know that 30% of the chicken that you consume in this country is produced by small farmers? 30%.
Dr. Dayton Campbell, PNP General Secretary.
The farmers in St. Elizabeth is having a warm time, you know. Not to mention other people in Clarendon, St. Mary, and other parts of the country was hit with Hurricane Beryl. And in general, the entire Jamaica. Because if you have a little deep freeze, and you put 10 pounds of chicken in there, you go back and sell to Aunt Mary or Sister Tem. By the time your light bill come, it's ridiculous. It gone through the roof and JPS is collecting people money for many years and nothing has been done. And that is why I blame the two political parties in this country for what JPS has been doing to the people of Jamaica. It's not now JPS has been doing this to the people of this country. Not now. And the two political parties sit idle by and did nothing about it. The amount of money that Jamaica borrow. Why couldn't they borrow some money and build some solar plants in the 3 counties in this country? I'm not an electrician, and do I profess to be one? But common sense must prevail. How long shall the people of this country continue under the bandage of JPS? The Jamaica Public Service Company continue milking the people of this country. And you hear nothing. Now listen to what the Energy Minister has to say about JPS.
And the Energy Minister Daryl Vaz has written to the JPS demanding a detailed explanation of the reason for the spike in light bills sent to customers for the July to August cycle. These bills are due for payment in September. In a letter to President and the CEO of JPS, Hugh Grant, sent on Monday afternoon, Minister Vaz said his ministry had been flooded with complaints from customers raging at the exorbitant bills they were being asked to pay by the light and the power company. He gave the example of a community center in St. Elizabeth, which despite not having power since before the passage of Hurricane Beryl, was hit with a bill for about $70,000. Minister Vaz wrote that in the spirit of transparency, JPS ought to...
You hear what? The community center in St. Elizabeth didn't have no light before Hurricane Beryl passed through, you know. And after Hurricane Beryl passed through, JPS sent the community center a bill for over 70,000 Jamaican dollars. Then if that is not highway robbery, then what is highway robbery in this country? If that is not highway robbery, what is highway robbery in this country? This is some more of what the Energy Minister is saying. Because me not understand what's going on.
Give details about how it calculated these latest bills at a time when many customers did not have power for parts of the billing cycle. Vaz has given the JPS until September 6, 18 days from the date of his letter, to submit the information.
Something is not right here.
Director of Corporate Communications at the JPS, Winsome Callum, says the massive rise in light bills for the August period is primarily driven by an increase in fuel charges. She appeared on Nationwide.
Is driven by the increase in fuel charges. Ask the question again. Can somebody tell me, did OPEC raise oil prices around the globe? I know there's war going on in Ukraine and war going on in Israel and war going on in Yemen and all over those places. But I don't remember seeing where the oil price went up. If I can remember this, since 2014, every single Thursday in Jamaica, gas price go up in our country. All when gas price gone on around the globe, Jamaica gas price go up. And nobody does nothing about it. Now JPS is saying that the increase of utility bills, the increase of fuel charges, rather, the increase of fuel, while it push up the utility bills for the month of August. Huh? Boy, may God Almighty help us in this country. Listen to this.
5 on Monday to respond to the wave of backlash from customers reacting to the increase in their most recent light bills. As we hear in this report from Mahira Stewart, JPS customers were not told to brace for an increase. According to Winsome Callum, JPS had to transition from using liquefied natural gas, LNG, to automotive diesel oil, ADO, before Hurricane Beryl impacted sections of the country on July 3. The JPS Director of Corporate Communications says the fuel switch resulted in a more than 30% increase in charges.
The JPS does not set its own rate. The energy charge on electricity bill, that is set by the OUR, and that can only be changed by the OUR. The other component of the bill is made up of what we call variable charges, charges that will change from 1 month to the next. And the biggest charge that changes from 1 month to the next is the fuel charge. So the primary driver of the increase in electricity bills for this month is the increase in the fuel charge. The fuel charge has moved from $24.33 per kilowatt hour on the July bill to $32.17 per kilowatt hour on the August bill.
Ms. Callum says JPS had to use a more expensive fuel, ADO, to generate electricity for approximately 1 week in July.
We had to switch, meaning the power plants that use LNG, natural gas, had to switch to the more expensive ADO just before Hurricane Beryl hit. The automotive diesel oil, that's ADO, is the more expensive fuel. In fact, it is more than twice the cost of the LNG. Just before the hurricane hit Jamaica, the suppliers of LNG had to take the gas facility offline to protect it from damage during the storm. In total, I believe we were on ADO for about a week because of the unavailability of LNG.
Ms. Callum admits that the excessive increase in electricity bills is, quote, really unfortunate, end quote, especially at a time when customers are still struggling to recover from Hurricane Beryl. She also concedes that there could have been improved communication from JPS regarding the increase in electricity bills. However, Ms. Callum maintains the specific amount in charges was not known by the company in advance.
It would have been good to have alerted our customers early. What really happened is that we would not have known the exact value of the fuel charge that would have been passed on to the customer until at the end of the month before the billing period started last week. We did advise some key stakeholders in this regard because we figured that it would have affected our customers.
But
And
one of
you're
those
correct.
key stakeholders was not the customer.
I know what you're saying, and I totally agree with you that giving our customers the heads up, even if we didn't have the specific number or the specific figure of what the fuel charge would have been, giving our customers the heads up would have been useful.
Mahiri Stewart.
Wow. Wow. Jamaica pay one of the highest utility bill in the Caribbean. We were getting LNG from Venezuela. And Jamaica's world-class Minister of Finance and Jamaica's superpower Prime Minister decide to say bye-bye to Venezuela. Now Venezuela is taking them to court because they owe Venezuela money. The OUR, and by the way, if they increase, I see where in Eddie saying, does tourists pay an increase to visit Jamaica? Even if they pay an increase to visit Jamaica, my friend, the money don't come to Jamaica, you know. All the hotels in this country, if you book to come to Jamaica at one of those all-inclusive hotels, that money not come to Jamaica and it stay overseas. That money don't come to Jamaica. The numbers to call into the program is 954-529-8030. That's the numbers to call into the program, 954-529-8030. What is your views on JPS? I believe in my heart of heart, because the minister, I'm not taking up any other man, I can't know say when I cuss them out. The minister, Jamaica's world-class Minister of Finance, responded to JPS on Twitter and said that JPS did not have any communication with him pertaining to the increase in utility bills for the month of August. The only correspondent he had with JPS, hold on for me. Good afternoon, good morning, good morning, welcome to the Make We Talk program.
It look like you don't eat that in no morning to afternoon, I saw it go.
East Kingston, what's going on?
Jesus Christ, Jeff, me tell you every day, so me tired of them people, and you believe I joke. Yes, if me have the strong will and the power, me just get rid of some of them. Believe you me. Believe you me. And all you hear is one bag of chatting. Nobody now do nothing. Remember me tell you that. Me tell you JPS. How ridiculous. How ridiculous that can be. Your bill at $3,000 a month. And July, you don't have no light to August. 1 month. You don't have no light. 1 month or over. You don't have no light. And for your light bill can jump from $3,000 to $15,000. JPS what? JPS. JPS.
What I believe to East Kingston and Port Royal, I believe that JPS did not have to move over from LNG to ADO. I believe that somebody within JPS decided to take advantage of the Jamaican people while they did that.
Thank you. And Miss Callum, win some. Go sit down and talk rubbish. Rubbish you talk. You're talking rubbish, win some. All the while I say you because that's swallow my breath. That's swallow my breath, liquor.
But the
Win some.
Jamaican people, East Kingston, have been going on with this for many years with JPS. I think it's now JPS is doing this with the Jamaican people. They did it in the 1980s under Edward Siaga. They did it in the 1990s under Michael Manley and PJ Patterson. They did it under Portia Simpson Miller, Bruce Golding, and now Brogard. And you're saying to me from then until now, none of these so-called leaders that we have in the country couldn't do something to say we're going to borrow some money and let the Chinese build some power plants in this country?
Jeffrey, we are gonna borrow the money, but we not have to get the Chinese involved. We not keep. Otherwise, I ask you know.
We have
What people going
no,
to do it
hold on,
for?
why are you still in East Kingston? Because them love to use Chinese, you know. We have capable Jamaicans can do it. Don't get me wrong, we do. We do. Why couldn't they borrow some money and build solar power plants in this country in Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey?
Just like how in the windmill down in Manchester, they could have do it, but them borrow the money and do what them want to for themselves, Jeffrey. That is what these leaders of Jamaica do at all the time. That is what they do all the time. Then go around and then take money from he, she, and the old lady. They reach out in Dubai. But me say, when time they don't fulfill their part of the contract, the other side, when them are come for them, do me a beg go look for them specially. Look for them specially. Not start from the poor people them. Please me a beg look for them specially. Anybody who them borrow money from?
You believe
that's what I'm saying.
You believe that when the world class minister go foreign go borrow money.
Down in Dubai.
You think they borrow the money and say for them it? They don't come for them? They're coming for
That's
Jamaica.
What I'm saying.
They're coming for
that's
Jamaica,
what I'm
the Jamaican
saying.
people.
And that me I say that's the part of the thing that me not like, because if you go down to Dubai or China or wherever, even United States, and you go borrow the people their money, and when you don't fill your side of the contract, me I say to them, say, if you borrow it from United States, when United States come, then look for them specially, look for them. Then I hit me I say, that's what I'm saying. Poor people are going to suffer. Anyway, you take it always be the poor people. Always be the poor people. And people are going to run now, come election, now we're going to run, go sit down. It don't make any difference.
East Kingston, let me ask you a question, East Kingston. You've been around a long while.
Take a while?
Yes.
I'm not so old. They're young, very young.
You believe you think that JPS, you think JPS is just doing this now?
No. No. N-O, no. Remember one company come here bankrupt now?
All right, I talk
Remember
about
one
it in
company,
the 1990s.
Remember one company come here bankrupt? And when they left, right. No man, me sick of, and all these ministers do is just talk, and lie on them you can't find. Almighty me, come know people lie, but me never see for them a match. I don't see the second.
And you know the funniest thing? When they sold JPS to that famous company in the 1990s, to little and nothing. I said it already on this platform. That company owed the IRS billions of dollars in the United States.
Billions of dollars.
And when that person done with JPS and the Jamaican people, he couldn't pay off the IRS and go to Texas to build a power plant.
Yes, and it's up and running right now.
And the person who sell JPS, you know, under his administration, if you talk about it now, people tell you left them alone. But Jamaicans don't do their history.
No, they don't.
Political parties be blamed for where Jamaica is right now. The two of them.
Exactly. None no better than the other. And you see the Jamaica Labour Party right now under Andrew leadership are the worst. Are the worst. Mr. Not pass him. And you see everything, and when you see how in the run out and address this, like how run out and address Clarinan. How you not run out and address this or say something about this like how you run out last week and talk about Clarendon?
But hold on, with all fairness, I heard him said that the when I call it the monopoly and JPS has to be looked into. He said it. He said that it can't be JPS alone running a utility company in Jamaica. They have to get something else in the country.
Jesus Christ, Michael, but I expect what we feel those.
I wonder if some people of the Vumva in the diaspora can approach the government and build a power plant in Jamaica to help the people of Jamaica.
But in Jeffrey, I think we can, as individually, I think we're supposed to can jump build a solar system for ourselves individually if you have the money and can do it and jump off a JPS and low JPS.
But hold on, there's a clause in the JPS Act, even if you have a solar on your house, you still have to have JPS there. You can sell back stuff to JPS and give whatever. You can't JPS, you can't, based on what I'm hearing. I don't know if it's true. I'm starting to be corrected. If you decide to build a house and say to hell with JPS and you build your house and put on solar, they can't come after you and say to you, no, you can't do that.
Really?
Yeah, because there's some clause in JPS when they sold JPS in the 1990s and come up. Because when the people who own JPS now done with JPS, and Jamaica just have to take back it over, God help us in this country.
Boy, and you right now them only hold 20% of that 100%.
19%.
There you go again. Someone know I wish one right. Me year 19, me year 20. Someone know right.
What is not true, Ed? What is not true, Ed?
If you can't get in our way, if you jump off of them, man, and do your own thing. Oh boy, me tired of them. Me tired of JPS. Tired of them. When it's not JPS,
I know there's some clause in it that if you're gonna put solar on your house, there's something you have to do with JPS. I know there's some clause in that I know of.
Right? Me see another program where them say them a drill in the sea. I look the island of Jamaica.
Yeah, man. They have been doing that from Wapi Kill Philip.
When them people are done with Jamaica, them a talk about tsunami take when India waiting them there, and a tsunami I go take we. Wait, liquor. Everything is just out now in the open. Nothing not hide again. Nothing is not hiding again. And the people then that you are looking to say, well then, do something about it. Chat.
With our friends in East Kingston, the whole drilling of oil started from in the 1990s. There's pockets of oil across the country that they are trying to dip into. But if they find oil in Jamaica, say bye-bye to Jamaica's tourism. And say bye-bye to Jamaica because when these so-called politicians done with Jamaica, some of them, not all of them, God help us because the people of Jamaica won't have any say in how the oil is being distributed in this country.
We not have none right now. We not have no say right now. None. Them your own ear say, okay, the government sell this. Okay, the government buy that. The government lend out this. Okay, and they never come to the people and ask them, what do you think about it? What is your opinion on it? We never hear that yet. I mean, they are long enough. What me can say?
What we need to ask the Jamaican government, both past and present. Did you sell every single Jamaican citizens?
I tell a neighbor of mine, say one of the morning we are going to wake up. Not even wake up, you are going to hear knock, you are going to hear. When you look, I saw, ching chang, And when you say Wednesday, you say him buy you.
I don't know what you say. When you know say no. You chocolate chan. You black Congos, Jamaican, leave the people from China.
Yeah, you need to go fight warrior. Teacher tell me on yes chan. You need to get
I
now.
see a video circulating on social media
Jesus
where a Chinese
Christ.
man telling a Jamaican citizen to get out of shop. Come out, you effing
No,
Jamaican, you this, you that. Come out of my shop.
no. There
And,
was one back.
hold on for me, Kingston.
Mhm,
And the other Jamaicans just sit down in there, not saying a word and they're still buying.
mhm,
Make it was some other country.
mhm.
It was the people of Nigeria that don't happen. Because there was a thing in Nigeria where the Chinese build a supermarket and they said that people of Nigeria can't come to the supermarket. You know what happened? The
They
people
have to
of
shut it
Nigeria
down.
say, hey, a few piece of rock this. You're not going to dictate to we. But in Jamaica, no man. A Chinese man will pay a Jamaican to go kill another Jamaican.
There was a video a couple of years ago where a Chinese woman boxed a girl, a school girl in her face because she accused her, she teased something. And when they check it out, never goes, and nobody no do nothing. And Mr. Vegas, they take it up on the head. Jesus have mercy, Jerry. Eh?
Jerry Small look on the minister and said to her, say you continue. Fire there must still think a cool breeze. Me I want my goddaughters. And she don't say something.
Just let me say to some people, me not say nothing to me, you know, but me know every ear from my body you that sell. Jeffrey, come on, yeah?
All right, darling. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, man, good.
The numbers to call in is 9545298030. Call in and tell us what you think about JPS and anything else that is affecting you in the land of wood and no water. 9545298030. It wasn't on yesterday. We came on today, so you can call in and talk to us. Your views on what is going on in the land of wood and water. One thing me know, you know, I am not saying that nobody can do what they want to do, you know. But when you keep your mouth shut, you're working under the quiet there, you know. And when the dam busts, then they will see what is going on. My good friend Jerry Small used the word fire there must still, then think a cool breeze. I am not saying that you can't come to my country and go where you want to go with you. But any Chinese man or woman trouble any member of my family or trouble me in a my land where me born in and decide so you don't get away with you, make a sad mistake. Your box make and box you back. Good morning, welcome to the Make We Talk program. You're live.
Good morning, Mr. Jeffrey.
Good morning, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm okay right now.
So like you have your coffee already?
I just had it, you know, because I went to do some blood work. So, you know, I have to do fasting. So I just had my breakfast.
Coffee and a cup of coffee and a slice of hard bread with some butter on here?
It was pancake and eggs and sausage.
Oh, Lord.
Now, Mr. Jeffrey,
yes,
I am confused.
About what now, ma'am?
And I am asking a few questions in my mind. Where is the OUR in all of this?
The OUR nonsense, ma'am. The OUR can give JPS anytime JPS. I tell you something, you know. If JPS call the OUR tomorrow morning and asks for an increase in utility bills, the OUR give it to them.
Listen to me.
The two political parties signed some papers with the toll highway. Go look it up for me because I don't believe I lie me to tell. that give, hold on there for me, darling, that give the toll road the privilege to ask the OUR or not to ask the OUR. I want to tell you too. Anytime they want a fare increase in the toll road, they can get it because of what they sign in the deal to build a highway in this country.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what this is my full decision on all the matters.
Yes, ma'am.
There is no MP to come out and say anything to the people. It's like the government shutdown is like there is no government. What is happening?
Hold on there for me, darling. With all fairness, I have been hearing Daryl Vaz hitting out hard against both the OUR and JPS. Based on the clause that the OUR signed 29 years ago, the Minister of Technology and Energy do not have any say in OUR of such. And the JPS is a privately owned company regulated by the by the OUR. So is the Smell and Lime. Go ahead for me, ma'am.
Yes, but if we have a government, a conscious government, a government who mean the people good, they would stand up for the people and see to it that the people get justice. Right? I was listening to a program some times ago that Mr. Rettigan made that decision that the diasporas could come together and open their businesses in Jamaica. Would they get that privilege?
What business are you talking about?
The solar thing. Having the solar plant in Jamaica so that we could get light outside of the public service.
Well,
I don't know if it is feasible, but I heard him make a suggestion like that.
I have been making a suggestion for many years about it.
That is the thing. That is the thing, Mr. The people that have the mind to help, but they are not getting the chance to help because what? One set of people want everything under them wing.
And not only that, you know, there's so much red tape in the country that you have to put money to get certain things done.
That's what I'm saying. The place is corrupt from Congress to corner. There's no straightforward going in Jamaica. Everything is winding under the table, over the table, beyond the table. Oh my God, what is happening?
I see somebody, my good friend, Lance said something, and it's the truth. The government of Jamaica is pushing, throwing JPS and the OUR on it, the bus. The government has the authority to change the laws when they come onto the OUR. But it begs to ask the question, is anybody in the power of the political elite in our country has any say in JPS or any say why they don't want the OUR to regulate certain things?
Mr. Jeffrey,
yes, ma'am.
When you see these things, there is something behind it. There is something behind it. Don't surprise if you wake up tomorrow morning and you say, oh, we're making a big plant down there, so and where, because they want to control the people. So you don't be surprised if they make up come with a big plant situation and water situation, control water, control light. There is something behind these things, Mr. Jeffrey.
But you know
not my word.
But you know something? Jamaicans has been facing the problem with high utility bill in this country for many years. Under the two political parties in this country. And nothing has been
Yes. we need somebody different from the Jamaica public. They want a competition. Just like how the telephone thing used to go on. That's where it used to go on, you know, until we have two companies now. Them shut down the one and we come up with two more now, but they're not better.
Because right now, both DJ Smell and Lime, they need a third competition.
Yeah. But I'm wondering if there's people who are willing to do the work but not getting the chance to do the work. Because one,
there is people out there who want to come into Jamaica to give Jamaica a nice service. But when it comes on to the taxation of the country is one. When it comes on to the high cost of living is two. Although the high cost of living is involved in everything and the high electricity bills. I personally believe that the government of Jamaica was the first country that have electricity, if my memory serves me correctly. And we have so many rivers in this country. And so many waterfalls that can generate, hold on for me, darling, that can generate electricity. And they do nothing about it. Go ahead for me, darling.
Look at White River.
All right.
Look at White River. White River can generate any type of current that we want. But instead, the government spend the money where it is profitable to the poor and spend it where it only belongs, give a couple handful of people the benefit. Mr. Jeffrey, have you seen that Jamaica is closing down?
Then who's closing it down, ma'am?
Do you look and see that Jamaica is going right down to nothing?
And who is doing it, ma'am?
Who's in power? Who's in charge?
Listen to me. We know the people in charge, them doing it to you know. But who has the power to say enough is enough?
Mr. I'm going to tell you something.
The question for me, darling.
The people.
Okay.
The people, Mr. Jeffrey, but do you look and see that the people is incapable? Because I don't know if it's water they throw on the people or it's what they do to the people, but it's not the Jamaica that I know. Something has been wrong somewhere. The people are under pressure.
Not a thing, not to them. Until they take out this thing out of their head and out of their psyche and they can base up by saying me ban say me mama and papa are this and me grandma and grandpapa are this and think about Jamaica.
But Mr. Jeffrey, it's a long time now they have that concept. Long time. And things was better. Things was better.
So don't you think that the concept they have with this ban your business is a stupid concept?
Well, if the government turn it around, what do you expect the people them to do?
Me, darling, hold on. If you have this concept in your head, so your mama and papa PNP, so me a PNP or JLP, don't you think it's a stupid concept?
Yes, but if the head of the stream dirty, the tail after dirty.
No. You still not so much of it, you know.
Yes, it is not wise, Mr. It's time for we come together and talk about Jamaica.
Thank you.
Jamaica. If we want to see Jamaica a better place, we have to come together and talk about Jamaica. Who born down and who born over son have nothing to do with Jamaica. We are all Creoles of Jamaica.
If you listen to President Joseph or Biden's speech to the Congress last night.
Yes.
What he said was this, that he made a decision on the behalf of the people of America, his country. His country come first. Joe Biden never come first.
That's what he said.
And if the Jamaican people would put Jamaica first, Not the PNP, the JLP, nor the UIC, nor the Never Dare Move. That's the NDM.
Yes, Mr. Jeffrey, but we don't want to see, we don't want to go back in the days of the 90s and the 72s and all them. We can't afford that now. And if the people get up to demonstrate, you're going to see soldiers and police come down on them. So they get afraid. What are we going to do? Nobody is willing to make this first step.
I want to say, I was just told that the Make We Talk program is live on Rockers Radio in Jamaica. That's the Make We Talk program is live on Rockers Radio in Jamaica. Thank you very much, Sugar Wayne, for bringing the program live on the airways in the land of wood and water. We're listening, watching from around the world on the Eastern Caribbean. This is the Make We Talk program. We have a call on. Caller, still go ahead.
Well, Mr. Jeffrey, I am going to come off and let somebody else voice their opinion. But thank you for doing what you and others are doing, because you have opened our eyes so much that nobody can fool us anymore. So just keep on doing what you are doing. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am, and thanks for your call. Thank you. The number to call is 954-529-8030. That's 954-529-8030. That's the number to call into the program. It's also a WhatsApp number. For those who are listening on Rockers Vibes Radio, that's Rockers Radio rather, not Vibe, Rockers Radio. The numbers, it's also a WhatsApp number, 954-529-8030. It's also a WhatsApp number. The numbers to call into the program is 954-529-8030. That's the numbers to call into the program on the Make We Talk program right here on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Jeffrey.
How are you doing, my friend?
And thank you very much for letting me to talk to you. I have something to share with you, you see?
Yes, man. Go ahead.
There are three different types of people in Jamaica. The rich, the middle class, and the poverty.
There's no middle class in Jamaica, man. That's rich and poor.
Like, Jeffrey, let me share something with you. In Jamaica, there are three, right? And let me explain something to you. The three type of people we have, right? Only one benefit, right? Is the rich. The rich alone benefit in Jamaica. The middle class and the poverty, we have no task. We are ruling by slave masters. This government running the country like a dictator and a slave master. And Jamaican people have to come together to get out of it. No talking and black road not going to help. We have to educate our children to get out of this. Just like for the Prime Minister to take him two sons and educate them and take them out of it, right? And them go and rob and thief and kill every day. The country not going to get better, Jeffrey. Take what me tell you. And a great disaster is ahead for this country. If Jamaican people don't repent and ask the Lord for forgiveness, right? This is a warning, Jeffrey. I call the program to warn Jamaican people, right? So the Lord is going to shake Jamaica because Jamaica going in the wrong direction, too much blood. Jamaican people lost their way to darkness, Jeffrey, right? And if they don't wake up and repent and take back the land and wood and water, as what you call it, right? We are going to doom in this lifestyle. And no prime minister, no minister not going to help us. We have to help ourselves. We have to live ourselves in righteousness and cleanliness and godliness and truthfulness, right? No one going to help us, Jeffrey. No one. We have to help ourselves, teach our children the right thing. Jeffrey, you can't teach your children boy must be with boy and girl must be with girl. It is Sodom and Gomorrah and hurt. We are going to pay for it, Jeffrey. Mark my word, I tell you this morning and tell the listeners, we are going to pay for it daily. The country is not going forward, it is going in evil. The country running by dictator and evil. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome, my friend. God bless you too. You remember when I said on this program here the Monday after the brutal slaying of 8 people in Clarendon, I came on this program little with tears in my eyes. And I gave out a warning to the Prime Minister of this country, the Most Honorable Michael Andrew Holness. And I said to the Prime Minister, declare a day of fasting and prayer for this nation. We don't want to go no Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, no Vum Hotel. Go to the people them at the National Arena or the National Stadium. Until now, nobody don't pay me any mind. I call on the churches in our country to do the same. I hear nothing from them, only hear the Jamaica umbrella group of churches because I call them hypocrites. They decide to come out. You hear this man giving a warning again this morning? Because last week, Sunday, I think it was, I heard Bishop or Pastor Mark Stewart giving a warning about an earthquake. The earthquake happened. Before that, in 2019 or 2020, I was at a church in Jamaica, and I will call the church name, the Mount Faith Baptist Church. And a lady who I know very well, get up in the church and said, something is about to happen to this country. She went on to say, the blind can see and the deaf can hear. And she gave a warning to Jamaica. Jamaica can be getting so much warning. And we sit down and don't say nothing. We believe it's business as usual. 8 Jamaicans was murdered in this country. 8 of our innocent Jamaicans, whether they do it nice, I don't know. But 8 Jamaicans was murdered in this country. Murdered. And after that, how many Jamaicans were murdered again? And you believe that Almighty God will sit down and says nothing and do nothing about it and keep on saying that Jamaica is God bless, God now do nothing? I'm stay there. The Bible said I'm a very jealous God. And Jamaica has turned away from God. You can't have a leader. You cannot have a leader. Now I do not know the spirituality. I do not know the Prime Minister's faith with his God. But what I can say to the Prime Minister of this country, what I can say to the Prime Minister of this country is this. You better get yourself in order, Prime Minister Holness. Get the country in order, Mr. Holness. You better get this country of Jamaica in order. So many people can't be warning the nation of our country. Warning the people from Negril Point to Moran Point. You are the leader of the country. And you must put the people to go down on their knees in prayer and fasting. Some people say Jamaica, no short of prayer and fasting. That's a fool, no business. Me not come tell me, say God tell me not because some of it will lie about the spirit say. What a Jerry and David want to talk about. I call for prayer for this country. On the Monday after the brutal slaying of the 8 people in Clarendon. And people call in and pray. You believe God don't sit down and allow all like JPS to continue robbing poor people in this country? And you know something? You believe that the God above gonna sit down and allow the Parliament of Jamaica to continue lying to the people of this country and not do nothing? You believe that the God above gonna sit down and allow these people to bring in this coke into the country? Billions and billions of dollars of cocaine into this country. And you don't do nothing about it? You believe that God gonna sit down and allow the people of the Vumvava and the Vumvavi to continue having human trafficking in this country? And you do nothing about it? You believe that God is gonna sit down and allow the DPP to use tainted jurors to send innocent Jamaicans to prison and don't do nothing about it? You believe that God gonna sit down and allow a prime minister to can certify why have or why not have? You believe that God gonna sit down and allow the powers may be to become a dictator in this country? You believe God gonna sit down and allow the Jamaica Constabulary Force to continue stepping in the neck of Jamaican people and don't do nothing about it? The numbers to call into the program is 954-529-8030. It's also a WhatsApp number. We're live on Rockers Radio out there in the land of wood and water. Morning, Sugar Wayne. How you doing, my friend? We need to hook up this thing a different way, no, Sugar Wayne, where we can get call coming into, you know. I keep on telling you to hook up this thing a different way, where we can get call from your end to me. The numbers to call is 954-529-8030. It's also a WhatsApp number. Let me do it a little slower because maybe somebody's writing it down. Write it down. Write it down. The numbers to call is 954-529-8030. 954-529-8030. We're live on Rockers Radio. That's Rockers FM. It's an internet radio station. We're live on Rockers Radio out there in Jamaica. The numbers to call is 954-529-8030. That's the numbers to call to the program. We need to hook up this thing a different way, Sugar Wayne. Hook up this thing a different way, man, because when you get calls coming in from Jamaica to the program, we can hear what Jamaican people are saying. Those who are online who are hearing us, I want to say, Miss Elaine, good morning to you from Lauder Lakes, right here in Florida. Good morning, good morning. All those who are listening to over here in Florida and around the United States, good morning to you. I want to hear what Sugar Wayne is saying. Hold on for me there. No. You don't understand what I mean, you know, Sugar Wayne. What I meant is that we need to hook up the system a different way. But if those who are listening to you, your listeners, and they want to call into the program, they can call your number and they come directly to me. That's what I meant. Anyway, the numbers to call is 954-529-8030. That's the numbers to call into the program. It's also a WhatsApp number. We're speaking about what is going on with the JPS and also any other issues that you think is facing Jamaica that we're speaking about this morning. Let me figure out something here. There is something that I was speaking about earlier on this morning to do with JPS. One moment for me, please. One moment. There's a call in. Lord. person hang up. I call them back. 954-529-8030. That's 954-529-8030. That's the number to call into the program. By the way, I was told a couple days ago that I see we're in the gentleman who is in charge of the JCF crime portfolio, Fitz Bailey. Let me see if I get this thing in my thing here. Hold on there for me. Fitz Bailey is saying that they have arrested some people and he gave names. But why did it take Mr. Bailey so long for him? It take him a long time for him to give the names. We're going to take a quick commercial break on the program here. That's a quick one. Just give us a few minutes. A quick commercial break here on the program. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. It's a quick commercial break. Let me look for the commercial here. Quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Moses listened, Moses heard, and Moses treated the matter with the respect it deserves. How different from what we see today in leadership, in state and in church. Whether church or society, our leaders are too big to listen to your little petty demand. We don't have any time to hear you. You're not important enough. But time come for us to rid ourselves of the arrogance. It is time for us to rid ourselves of the arrogance exercised by the gatekeepers and the enforcers who have beaten the word of God into weapons of injustice, weapons of inequity, and weapons of gross iniquities. Some of us, and many of you, can attest to the arrogance that you have experienced at the hands and the pen strokes and the taps of leaders and those in positions of power who determine your future by denying you your rights in the present.
Who determine your future and deny your rights in the present. Good morning, we're listening and watching from around the world, from the Eastern Caribbean. This is the Make We Talk program. We're live on Rockers Radio out there in Jamaica. I want to say good morning to my good friend Sugar Wayne. You know, welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the program. I was trying to get a video that I wanted to play, but apparently the producers didn't put the thing in here. Let me continue on what I'm speaking about. We're speaking about what is going on with the JPS. We're even down to the People's National Party speaking about it too, that the JPS is not playing up the work. Hold on there for me. What is this? The earthquake unit said a light earthquake with a magnitude of 4.5 was felt in section of Jamaica early Tuesday morning. Hold on there for me, please. Hold on there. Hold on. Let me get this thing up and going here. Hold on there for me. News coming into us. I didn't see this at all. It's a good thing I went on this a while ago, but let's do this. This is Make We Talk breaking news. News coming into our news center and our sister station in Jamaica, Rockers Radio. The earthquake unit said a light earthquake with a magnitude of 4.5 was felt in section of Jamaica on Tuesday morning. Thus, the earthquake unit at the University of the West Indies Mono campus is saying that a light earthquake with a magnitude of 4.5 was felt in section of Jamaica early Tuesday morning. No reports of damage. Want to see what is going on? A couple of days ago, earthquake was felt in Jamaica. The earthquake unit at the University of the West Indies Mono campus is saying that a light earthquake with a magnitude of 4.5 was felt in some section of Jamaica early Tuesday morning. It's a light earthquake of 4.4, a magnitude of 4.4, was felt in section of Jamaica early Tuesday morning. That is not good for us, you know. That is not good. That is not good. That is not good at all. A light earthquake was felt in section of Jamaica on Tuesday morning. Apparently, I'm being told that there's going to be a press conference. There's going to be a press conference. Press conference is going to be. I know there's going to be a press conference tomorrow morning that I know of. There's going to be a press conference tomorrow morning that I know of. I don't know about the press conference. Let me play something here. Head of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Crime and Security Portfolio, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Fitz Bailey, has announced that charges has been laid against 5 men who were arrested in connection with a historic seize of cocaine in Havendale. Here we go.
On Tuesday, August 6, 2024, members of the Firearm and Narcotics Investigation Division within CTOC executed a raid at 2 Riverside Drive, Avondale, Kingston 19, which resulted in the seizure of a large quantity of cocaine and the arrest of 5 male Jamaican nationals. The persons arrested are all from Kingston addresses. Those arrested are 57-year-old Clive Roy Davis, 58-year-old Colin Ricketts, 51-year-old George Sterling, 42-year-old Clayton Peart, and 72-year-old Juna Aldane. During the operation, a Toyota IAS vehicle and a 2-story concrete dwelling were searched, where the police discovered several knitted bags containing packages with a white powdery substance suspected to be cocaine. The substance weighed 2,526 kilograms, or just over 5,569 pounds, and has an estimated street value of just over $75 million US. The accused, who have been interviewed in the presence of their lawyers, remain in police custody after they were charged on Friday, August 16, 2024, for possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, trafficking in cocaine, and conspiracy. The court dates are still being finalized. This seizure represents the largest on record in Jamaica's history. The Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, along with its local, regional, and international partners, are continuing investigation into this matter and are actively pursuing other leads to further dismantle other criminal networks. The Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division continues to make significant impact on illicit firearms and drug trafficking. Since the start of 2024, the division's interdiction efforts have resulted in the seizure of 86 illegal firearms, 1,154 rounds of ammunition, 20,074 kilograms of ganja, approximately 67 kilograms of cocaine, with an estimated street value of just over $2 million US. This figure does not include the most recent cocaine bust. Meanwhile, we would like to note the fact that significant gains are being made in terms of the arrest of persons for drug offenses. A total of 168 individuals have been arrested since the beginning of 2024. This includes 147 Jamaicans, 8 Americans, 5 British, 2 Hungarians, 1 Dutch, 1 Argentina, 1 French, 1 Asian, 1 Canadian, 1 Nicaraguan. The Jamaica Constabulary Force will continue to pursue individuals and syndicates engaging in the illicit firearms and narcotics trade and posing the greatest threat to the Jamaican states, having regards to the nexus between drug trafficking, firearms trafficking, and violence.
My God. I want you to listen to something though, where the Prime Minister of Jamaica, we're going to go back down to Clarendon. We have more time to speak about JPS and we're going to go down to Clarendon now about what he said. He has this thing going on social media. I want to listen to this.
On Sunday, August 11th, in the quiet community of Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon, our entire nation was shaken by a brutal act of violence.
Gangsters mercilessly took the lives of 8 innocent Jamaicans.
If there is ever... Hold on there for me. Oh, sorry. Hold on there for me. Let me go over to something here. Hold on a minute for me, please. Just one moment for me, please. I want to play something here. I want to play something here. Just a moment here, please. Let me find something here that I need to play. It's about the Prime Minister, you know. It just came to me a while ago that I need to play it. The numbers to call into the program is 954-529-8030. That's the numbers to call into the program. 954-529-8030. And join us this evening. Join us this evening as we come to you live from Chicago. The Make We Talk program coming to you live from Chicago this evening at the... Good afternoon. Hello, welcome to the program. You're live.
Yeah, with that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's going on? Go ahead and speak.
Before we start this chat, Jeffrey.
Yes.
I want you to confirm something with me. The massacre took place last week.
Yes.
Did the 3 people that went to that press conference, the security minister, prime minister, and assistant commissioner, I want to see if you hear what I hear. Did they say the gangsters that what caused the massacre was some players abroad? Listen to good. Let's read.
Yes, man.
Did they say you have players abroad, players in prison, down to the street level? Did that what they said, Jeffrey?
Yes.
Okay. Remember, Jeffrey, the first time I called you was Independence Day.
Right.
You remember that call?
Yeah, man, I remember.
I told you 4 set of people that causing the problem. I explained to you about the sore foot and the flies. Whenever time I call you, Jeffrey, we're going to bring back the conversation right here.
Go ahead, man. You have enough time. Go ahead.
Listen out, Jeffrey. Yeah. All right. I heard they said you have guns in foreign, talk to dance, talk to bad man in prison, and the bad man in prison give out a contract to the little barefoot boy there. I told you, Jeffrey, what gonna happen. I nearly lose half of your Jeffrey last week because emotion. Wait. Listen, Jeffrey. Emotion and knife almost get you to agree with something that I want you to stay away from. All right, listen, Jeffrey.
Yes.
The main reason that caused, one of the reasons that caused those 8 people dead, Jeffrey, is the government. Is Jeffrey? Who control the prison, Jeffrey?
Government of Jamaica.
Okay, so Jeffrey, if they done in foreign communicate with man in prison, for that communication to happen, wouldn't it have to be assisted by prison authorities? Would it, Jeffrey? Who could it done in foreign communicate with bad man in prison, Jeffrey, without it assisted by prison authority?
It all depends, because you know that people have phones in prisons in Jamaica.
But Jeffrey, if people have phone in prison in Jamaica, Jeffrey, wouldn't it have to be assisted by prison authority for them to have it?
Yes, I agree with you. Yes.
Okay, all right. If people in your prison give out contract to people in the street, wouldn't it have to be assisted by prison authority?
And not
the
only
communication.
And not only that, sir. The Jamaican government should have the capability of tracking members of the social media. So how is it that they don't have apparatus to track those who are in prison, who is sending out contract to kill other people? I don't understand what's going on.
You don't need to track those in prison only. You need to track the people that our taxpayers that are paying and they're collecting too from the gangsters, Jeffrey. So wouldn't it be easier for you to find your people who taking part in this? You see where it's going, Jeffrey?
Yes.
To go kill the sour fry them.
But I believe,
these people would not lose their life, Jeffrey, without a prison authority assistance. And now you're going to lock down a whole community. And you don't just gather up some people, Jeffrey. Them say, how much people they say was in that car?
But not only that,
Go ahead.
Not only that, caller. If you listen to what the Prime Minister said, and it begs to ask the question, was it a code to tell the president, to tell the criminals to take for themselves? In the Prime Minister's press conference, he said, take one yourself. So that begs to ask the question of the Prime Minister. Was he sending a code, or was it just he just felt like saying it? I don't know. Is where I'm coming from?
Yes, I see where you're coming from, Jeffrey. So you see, Jeffrey, we can't just agree. Jeffrey, I'm not in no way, shape, or form condoning criminality. They must be dealt with, but with a fine tooth comb, Jeffrey. You can't just gather up one group of people who look like. You can't just gather up people like. Look at this, Jeffrey.
But not only that, caller. It begs to ask the question. Is the authorities of the day drifting away from this cocaine boss? I hear nothing from the Minister of National Insecurity. We hear nothing from the Deputy Commissioner of Police pertaining to a Jamaican citizen who was gunned down in front of his business place. We hear nothing.
Okay, Jeffrey. I can't talk about.
Hold on there for me. It's because of programs like these, and along with Wayne Lonesome calling out Fitzbailey, why Fitzbailey decide to give the name of those who were charged in the cocaine bus. No, why I'm going that route? Why I'm going that route? It is rumored that the cocaine bus has something to do with the killing in Clarendon. Is that so? We don't know. Go ahead for me.
I love to talk about what I see and what I hear from them.
Yes.
Jeffrey, I'm glad you call that man name. Wayne Lonesome. The only thing I ever assist, I ever willing to be a part of or willing to support. You see that group that you guys formed with that demonstration thing abroad? I would support that. Therefore, I'm hurted by the little split. Therefore, I monitor space. I have the time to release.
Let me say something on this program here.
Yeah. Yes.
I have nothing to comment on that thing.
I know. I'm not gonna comment. Therefore, I tell you. Why?
Hold on there for me.
Why?
I have nothing to comment pertaining to that, because I was advised by counsel not to comment. What I would say in this audio is this.
Yes.
I am appealing to people. Do not email me about any money. You never give me no money. Hold on for me, sir.
Wait, Jeffrey, you're going where I wouldn't go. You're going where I wouldn't go. But finish. Hold
on there for me.
Yeah.
You know what is true? Let her keep it. I was advised by counsel to say
Yeah. Don't go there, Jeffrey. Don't go there. Jeffrey, I told you, I won't call on your program and say anything to cause any problem. I told you that. What I'm saying, Jeffrey, I supported that thing, and I'm saying for whatever mean and selfish reason, whatever it is, I hope whatever split, they can unite on the same concern. I don't business with what happened, Jeffrey. That's not my thing. I don't know. I hope because we'll remain. That's what I was about to say, Jeffrey. Not into intricacies or whatever, man, whatever. I'm not into those things. All right, back to the conversation here. A pastor went down to church here. The pastor said, I listen carefully. The pastor said, even with his religious belief, now he has to reconsider the death penalty because these people, the government should use them as an example. Jeffrey, I'm saying criminal must be held accountable. Must be held accountable. But all criminal, not just some. Jeffrey, if you're going to just group of people, in a lot of people's view, that same pastor should be spending 23 years. If you should just group of people, let me ask you a question.
Hold on for me now. Let me ask you a question. What you're saying, the goodly pastor who went down to Clarendon and is called for the death penalty. What you're saying that they should not bring back the death penalty because XQYZ and XQYZ?
Jeffrey, I'm not just saying that, Jeffrey. Where are coming from? You can't just group up people broad brush, because if you're going to broad brush people, what if they broad brush when he was in the company of such man? They should have broad brush and get rid of him.
He
won't be able to go down there, Jeffrey.
Hold on there, no. That's a total different entity, man. When you have members of the public, gangs have high power rifle, spraying bullets on innocent Jamaicans, and then when you catch them, they must go to prison and yam taxpayer money. They must be hanged.
Oh, yeah, all right. Jeffrey, you're coming from here. If you get the right guy, if you can't take down a guy that by just taking down the foot sole. I explained that to you with the sour fly. Those are the easiest ones to replace.
Where you coming from now? Go ahead.
Those are the easiest ones to replace. It doesn't matter how much sour fry you get rid of today. Tomorrow you have more. What about the players that control the prison? What those? Therefore, it's easier to secure your yard than secure the village.
Mm-hmm.
What about the players that work at the prison?
Very good question.
So I agree, Therefore, for you to hold criminal accountable. But I can't agree with you to just come sweep up a whole neighborhood.
And that is what I don't understand. Why would you put a whole neighborhood under curfew just for that?
They are the same one who said a car was in the area for how many days? The people are not from that area.
I heard
how much people they say, how much?
I heard my good friend Robert Finzi Smith, who is a security consultant. He said that what they should have done. The highway has security cameras on it. At that time of night, couldn't they track it with aerial view to see where the car came into Clarendon, when it leave Clarendon and so forth? Because I tell you something, if they are boasting that they have the capability to track certain things, then that means that they have the capability to track where the car that leave out of that area. Are the cars that leave?
Yes, they should. You see. That man, Mr. Simit, I respect that man so much. Yeah. Why they won't use the measures that man proposed? But Mr. Simit talk on behalf of the law and how it should work. But there must be somebody to pick up with the barefoot while you can't allow them to group them up. And remember the measures that Mr. Smith always put forward. It still won't work, Jeffrey, if corruption control it.
But everything.
The biggest problem we have, Jeffrey, is corruption.
But everything in this country, sir, is controlled by corrupt people. The church, some of the churches are corrupt because what they're going there is scam the people other than the tripans halfpenny. The schools, the education system is bigger corruption because don't you see we're in the present minister of education is at the JTA conference in Negril, and she's there shaking off the former minister of education, Rural Reed Hand, to show us that the level of corruption in this country stinks to the highest heaven.
Okay. So you see, in everything they do, Jeffrey, the solution for that is to come kill some hungry people and that crime, and then people. Therefore, it's so bad that even the poor people agreeing with them to kill them. Look, you remember I told you, Jeffrey, it's hard for a man earning 15,000 a week to protest. Jeffrey, you ever check this? That a man who earns 15,000 a week. You ever check that man earn only 780,000 for the year? Yeah. You ever check it that that man, it would take that man 30 years to earn 1 year the Prime Minister's salary? You ever go that far?
No, you know, I've never think that far at all.
Jeffrey, 780,000 times 30 is 23,400. 30 years without a day off. And those same people, Jeffrey, out there shouting power and shower and say the Prime Minister deserves the salary.
That is why you ask the question. Does it what should I do? Does it make any sense for you to come on this platform here? Does it make any sense for Wayne Lonesome and Jeffrey Tavares and Wilfred Rattigan, Andre Stevenson, hot topic, hot off the press, right mango? Does it make any sense for any of us to come on the platform here and speak out for the Jamaican people when them sit down and I do nothing?
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. If you don't, more so fly and death, it's just because I hear people like you.
And Isaac Buchanan, yeah.
Voices. Save somebody so fly, Jeffrey. So you can't stop, Jeffrey, you can't give up. But as we said last week, I almost hear you give in. Because of emotion, I tell you and I said, Jeffrey, don't make emotion capture you. Remember, you see when you hear a politician say they will leave no stone unturned, Jeffrey, be careful. How much time before you hear that?
He has been saying that for many years now, sir. He said it. He said that he'll make LC the windows are now open and there will be no stone unturned. And he has been saying that from ever since.
Say that in SSL too.
Yes.
They say that in SSL too. No stone unturned. No stone won't be left unturned among the so apply them, Jeffrey. But the stone them I need to turn is the politician and the people up a your community, the way you call them, or whatever.
Community? Why you say my community? The people of the Vumba and the Vumba. So where you trying to tell me, sir? Where you trying to tell me, sir?
No, the community, because you name them. Oh. I should say your name community. Your name community.
I'm trying to find out from you if you're trying to say to me, sir, I'm a part of the Vumba and Vumba. Yeah? Answer me, no, man.
Why? No, I wouldn't say that, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I told you, I never got a program before.
No.
I told you the reason why I called you.
Hold on.
Jeffrey, one day I'm going to see you and say, what, Jeffrey?
Hold on there. May I ask you a question, man? I'm asking you, are you trying to say to me that I'm a part of the Vumba and the Vumba V? And me asking the question,
no.
Yes or no?
No, I'm not saying that. Oh. But Jeffrey, you should Jeffrey, know what's going on in today's world. If you don't find time in any conversation to break for a laugh, pressure will bust your head.
I am telling you, that's true. That is so true.
Yeah, Jeffrey, whatever you see them people are come with, never give up. They allow them to broad brush poor people. Because the people are under pressure, Jeffrey. I tell you, I won't be one of those that get abused. But me see it every day, Jeffrey. I don't think I don't swear, Jeffrey. You know how police really deal with people in this country. I wear 3 appearances, Jeffrey. And for fun, I experience the way how the police approach you in each appearance.
And what are those 3 appearances?
You want 3 different appearances, 3 different. This country is a look country, Jeffrey. And you are approached by the police as gone to how you look. And as gone to what you drive.
True. And as according to the name of Upper St. Andrew and the Vumba and the Vumba V.
As gone to your name from society. Right. So you what that, Jeffrey? We are good pretenders because a lot of us know what's going on. But we like easy conversation. We don't like a hard conversation.
So true.
We know when days used to nice, Jeffrey, when you did a fish roll up a red ground, when one foot, when one hand by hand, they dance up there.
Hello, please. Don't go down the road at all, my brother. And compulsion disco.
And compulsion. And up the beach. And run a rocky head.
May I tell you?
I'm going to see you one day and touch you and say, Jeffrey, what go on? This is the man in the road.
Boy, if that means you know me well then, man.
No, I don't know you that well. I've seen you. Jeffrey. My regular look, maybe you wouldn't see me on top of me.
Oh.
So I can get you to talk, get people to talk to me if I want them to.
Okay, I understand.
So, Jeffrey, that's why I get to experience a lot of things, get to hear a lot of things. But what I'm able to do well, Jeffrey, is to see well and listen well.
Yes. And
after the end of the conversation, I will hear what you don't hear. Because I don't always hear what you trying to tell me. I hear from the same conversation the things that you're not trying to tell me. I hear the Virginia head boy.
Yes. By the way, hold on there for me. Hold on there for me, my friend. Hold on there. I know people are asking about head boy. Head boy will be right back, man. Head boy just on some vacation. I send him on some vacation. I think he just take a rest. So he'll be coming back soon. Go ahead for me, caller.
I hear head boy. I hear Mr. Fields 2 good conversation, but from a different perspective.
Yes.
So, but me I will go and listen, Jeffrey. I want people to call you and keep the conversation going about what caused these 8 people to be murdered, Jeffrey. True. Not just the little so flying at the street. If the prison authority didn't assist, these people would lose their life, Jeffrey. Oh, you don't agree with them just to go create up one community and kill them off, Jeffrey.
You have a point.
If you can't find the trigger man, yeah, whatever way you whatever way your law allow you to deal with it, fine. But the broad brush, Jeffrey, me not in it for poor people. Why you don't need? Do you need the when I feed them big man with dead up Afghanistan? You don't need to left no stone and turn and find that the person that the murderer there and kill him. Oh, we don't hear of nothing. I want to show you the next thing.
And that's the question I'm asking.
I want to show you.
And that's the question I'm asking. How is it that a man was gunned down in front of his business place of the Effluence Society in Jamaica? A man who has so many business places. A man of the Vumva, Von the Vumva V of Upper St. Andrew. You hear nothing from the elites about that murder. And then it takes Fitzbailey a long time to come out and tell the people of Jamaica that they're gonna charge the 5 person who is involved in the cocaine bust. All because we on social media, headed by Wayne Lonesome, to say, look here, we need to know who the people are. Because if it was a guy who lived below Crossroad, the dirty foot chose his people them. You'd have heard about it. Tracy?
Deborah, you know the next thing I don't like, I don't know if you noticed that.
What?
A person lose them life. Instead of you investigate the crime, you come out and talk about all the things where the person was guilty of. But at the same time, it's not police kill the person. So what happened to the killer that killed that person? You remember this guy, Jeffrey, that was appeared to me as if he was sick. Was waving a gun somewhere, Manchester, Mandeville, and one and ready, and saying feed police, and them saying to come into the police by when one already. If you look at social media, you'll see that guy. About 3 days later, they find him dead. That's crime solved, Jeffrey. Who killed the man? Who killed that man?
Very good question. And another thing again, who killed the man from St. Elizabeth who in vehicle went off a Spurgery Hill? Who killed him?
And Jeffrey, these are the same set of people who gonna come with stories that we agree with them to just broad brush and kill our poor people. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. If these people, you're both in neighbor, if you're both in neighbor, Jeffrey, always take up the team pit with them and tell life on you and fear them. Why him should tell you a lie that you agree with him to kill one of you and him always tell you a lie anyway?
And you know something, this sir? Come September, a few days from now, is the Jamaican people, or should I say, is Donnelly Donaldson's mother and family and the Jamaican people gonna see justice for Donnelly Donaldson and for the people of this country? When will we see justice for the so many unsolved cases in this country by the JCF? So many cold cases that the Deputy Commissioner of Police refused to speak about. And the question must be asked this morning or this afternoon. Why we're not hearing from the Commissioner of Police? Why him gone on vacation?
Well, Jeffrey, I want you to ball out and call on the authorities to do something about the middle section of the gang that caused these people life. You can't leave them like that, because if you leave them like that, it's going to happen again. It should be easier to find out in a year house. The prison belongs to them. I feed them in that, Jeffrey.
I tell you something, sir. Same way the Parliament of Jamaica, the Ministry of National Insecurity, and the Minister of National Insecurity is so corrupt. So what do you expect? The prison system is going to be corrupt?
Jeffrey, what the 3 men said the other day at the press conference, when I hear that, I was wondering, none of you guys, you just let it pass like that. Because what they said, Jeffrey, that was not what they're trying to tell us. But what they actually said, it should have said that, and them should have come out and say a fake news. But it come out after them mouth, say them assist the people with communication to carry out the contract to massacre these people. We want you to call them out and Let them fix the part that too. Not just so that I have a brethren in a Kelly, Clarendon. He's not even close to where this thing happened. And them have to go out them bed from 6 o'clock. Hurricane just done. The people them not get back on them foot yet. And you cramp the whole community because of the carelessness of how your prison run. And you want me to agree with you to kill off only hungry people? No.
All right, my friend.
Find the guilty people. So me go and listen. Anytime I see them out to capture you, I will call you back. All right, go on.
All right, my friend. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, people, we're going to play a video here that I need to make everybody hear this video once more. We came here to talk about what's going on with JPS. We have done so. But we're also going to talk about the security of this country of ours. And based on what
everybody around the world can.
Based on what is going on in this country, a documentary was done by CVM about Clarendon. And they said every single year since 2021, a mass shooting happened in Clarendon. Every single year since 2021. And I want you to listen to this video here.
Clarendon, Jamaica's third largest parish behind St. Catherine and St. Anne, bears a bloody past dating back, like much of the country, to slavery. But
hold on for me, please. What's going on here? Hold on, please.
Clarendon, Jamaica's third largest parish behind St. Catherine and St. Anne, bears a bloody past dating back, like much of the country, to slavery. But after many years, it became a place of history and relative peace, later ruptured by criminal groups and gun runnings as select industries there dried up. Many resorted to violence over time, predominantly who, among other things, fell prey to mass killings, to include the popular Crawl incident in 2003. In that incident, police led by then SSP Renita Adams fatally wounded 4 youngsters during an operation in the area. While decades on and the history of the parish remains stained by crime and violence, even with recent reductions. And what might have been near impossible for some was not for the gangsters and crime influences there, who secured at least 5 mass murders in the last 4 consecutive years. By mass murders, we mean the international definition of the killing of 3 or more people, and that is not legally justified or excusable in a single incident at a single location. That's a definition by the U.S. federal law. History recalls the slain. You'll see on screen Havana Heights, September 2021. Gunmen wreaked havoc, killing 4 people. That tragedy orphaned a young boy around 3 or 4 years old at that time. And a year later, in Cocoa Peace, June 2022, Rashane Barnett reportedly single-handedly cut down a mother and her 4 children, who ironically were his relatives. He's now serving 5 life sentences after his speedy detention and charge. But not even that could deter the criminals who in June 2023 shot and killed 3 people in the Grantham area of Havana Heights at a shop. And that incident was believed to be an act of reprisal following the killing of a farmer back in 2022. And the mass murders didn't end there. Gangsters on October 5 that same year would create another bloodbath, this time in Summerfield, just outside a lounge and grill where 4 men were shot and killed sometime after 1 in the morning. And then Jamaicans were jolted by the news of one of its largest mass murder incidents yet, when gunmen violently shook Cherry Tree Lane 4 paths with a nightmarish attack Sunday night on 2 gatherings, leaving 9 dead, or reportedly at least 8, and 9 others hospitalized. So is there a trend on the rise? What's triggering the bloodlust? And what will it take for it to end? We'll, of course, have our experts responding to this, not just tonight, but later on.
And what would it take for it to end? That's the question we're asking. Because if the JCF knew that since 2021, every year there's a mass shooting in Clarendon, why didn't they have the security forces down there to stop this mass murder of 8 innocent Jamaicans, including a baby? This is the country that the Prime Minister refused to listen when we speak to him, because we don't have the intellect and the education that he has to secure this country, because he has all the education to secure this country. He promised us that we're going to sleep with our windows and door open. How many Jamaicans can do that? My fellow Jamaicans, we're going to say so long for another day. I was told I could take 2 more calls if there's a call, if there's a call coming in. The number to call is 954-529-8030. That's the number to call, 954-529-8030. We're going to take about 2 or 3 more calls if anyone going to call in. We're still live on Rockers Radio. I hope we're still live. If we're not, then we're going to say thanks to them. I think we're still live on Rockers Radio. Wayne, if we're still live, let me know. I think we're still live on Rockers Radio. The numbers to call into the program. Oh, my mic is low again. I don't know what's going on here. The numbers to call into the program is 954-529-8030. It's also a WhatsApp number, 954 529-8030. I don't know why my mic is low at all. I don't know what's going on, my friend. I'm going to try and figure out something here for the next broadcast. The number to call is 954-529-8030. It is also a WhatsApp number. You can call into the program to, speak your mind on issues affecting you and affecting our country, Jamaica. Wow. We don't get any calls. We're going to say thanks to my good friend. We're going to say thanks to my good friend, Rockers Radio. Sugar Wayne, thank you very much for bringing me on. Thank you very much. This is Jeffrey Tavares returning to the studios of Rockers Radio over there in Jamaica. You can take it away, Wayne. And we're going to say thanks to all of us here on the Make We Talk program. Thank you all for coming on. Remember to join us this evening at 7 p.m. U.S. time when we come to you live from Chicago. Tonight's guest speakers are Michelle and Barack Obama, the National Democratic Conference in Chicago. We'll be bringing that to you live, and the guest speakers will be former U.S. President Barack Obama and former First Lady Mrs. Michelle Obama. They will be on the platform speaking tonight, laying the case for Kamala Harris to become the next president of the United States. Of course, Kamala's father is a Jamaican, so the Jamaicans are rooting for her to become the next president of these United States. So join the Make We Talk program this evening as we come to you live from Chicago on the Democrat National Convention. And tonight's speakers are Barack and Michelle Obama. Of course, you heard from the former First Lady Hillary Clinton, former Secretary of State. She gave a very remarkable speech last night. You heard from the President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden, last night. So tonight we're going to hear from former President and former First Lady Michelle and Barack Obama. Barack and Michelle Obama. Thank you all very much for coming on the program. Until you hear my voice again, I'm Jeffrey Tavares saying thank you all. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. May God bless you And may God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Good night. Good evening.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk. People.
Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity.
Well-thinking Jamaicans should raise their voice in concert.
One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation invites all Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica to raise our voices in protest against corruption, crime, poverty, failed health care, poor education, and more injustice taking place in Jamaica. This takes place on Friday, August the 30th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this takes place at the Jamaican Consulate at the corner of East 41st Street and 2nd Avenue in Manhattan, New York. Remember, all Jamaicans and all friends of Jamaica, come and raise your voices in protest against all injustices taking place in Jamaica. Let's all come out in support to make Jamaica a better place.
Well-thinking Jamaicans should raise their voice in concert. Well-thinking Jamaicans should raise their voice in concert.
One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation invites all Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica to raise our voices in protest against corruption, crime, poverty, failed health care, poor education, and more injustice taking place in Jamaica. This takes place on Friday, August the 30th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this takes place at the Jamaican Consulate at the corner of East 41st Street and 2nd Avenue in Manhattan, New York. Remember, all Jamaicans and all friends of Jamaica, come and raise your voices in protest against all injustices taking place in Jamaica. Let's all come out in support to make Jamaica a better place.